What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hustling Sideways podcast. I'm Alan Halas. I'm a music writer.
And I'm Jim Love, and I'm a keynote and motivational speaker. And we are virtual again because I am not leaving the house for a little while. So
Yeah,
here we are. All is
you're
well,
very
though.
close. You're very
That's right.
close. We're on
That's
baby
right.
watch here on Hustling
Yeah,
Sideways.
that's right.
It's an exciting time.
No doubt.
So yeah, you're
And even
virtual.
yes, and even more exciting as we're recording this show, the Brewers are laying a beat down on the Chicago Cubs, and all is well in the world, and hopefully that stays. And the White Sox fan in me is just thrilled because my NL team is up, and my most hated rival is down by a lot. So life is good.
There
That's
you
where we
go.
stand.
There you go. Love that. Jim, I will say exciting times over here too.
Yes,
I just went and worked out for the first time in like months this
let's
morning.
go. Yeah,
Because summer is obviously crazy busy, and I'm just being lazy. I'm not even gonna say, oh, summer was busy. I was just being lazy for like months. The gym that I go to has a basketball court, and it was completely open. So I shot around for like 45 minutes,
oh,
and I hate to tell you this, guys.
you still got it.
I am not walking on for Marquette or the
Wow.
Bucks anytime soon.
Pipe dreams
For
end as quick as they start, don't they?
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
No, I found that out within easily the first 2 minutes.
Oh,
I don't want to say that I airballed a three, but I
that may
mean,
have
it
what
was a
happened.
brick. It was
Yes.
a
Oh,
brick. I could have
you
built a
tried.
house. Yeah,
That's okay as long as you
yeah.
tried. And speaking of the Bucks, we actually have one of the biggest Bucks fans I know joining us today, a season ticket holder and
Oh wow.
someone who I've known for quite a long time. We have Julia Graybill, which is fantastic. Julia, here I'm going to read out everything that she is. Here we go: an AR specialist and leasing administrator, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more today. Is the Milwaukee chapter host of Pitch a Friend. So Julia, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
We're happy to have
Hi
you.
guys. Thank you so much for having me.
You're
Yeah,
welcome. You're welcome.
excited to
So,
have you on.
Julia, we have a lot of people in common, which is awesome. Known you for a long
Mhm.
time. Tell us who you are and where you come from, and why the hell are you here?
Yeah, so Wisconsin, born and raised, have not left the state when it comes to living here. Absolutely love it. My heart belongs to Milwaukee. Like you said, I'm a Buck season ticket holder, have been for going on 10 years now. So excited for the new season to start. Looks like preseason starts next week, I believe, at home at Fiserv. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, I've known Jim for, oh my gosh, 6 years now,
Yeah,
maybe.
about. Yeah, no
Well,
doubt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, volunteer together and absolutely love that. But today we're discussing Pitch a Friend, which is my new part-time job that I'm excited for. So I am the Milwaukee chapter host. So I run all of the Pitch a Friend events in Milwaukee and the greater Metro Milwaukee area, going up to like all the way up to like Port Washington, Mequon, Menominee Falls, down in that area. So, do you want
Excellent.
me to just kind of explain what I
Yeah.
do?
Tell us.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
what
go
is
for
it?
it. Go right
What
Yeah.
is?
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
What
do it.
exactly is
So,
this thing that you
yeah.
do?
So, basically, it's an event that we go out to bars, restaurants, breweries too. And it's a way to kind of bring back the in-person connections and meetings. So ditching dating apps, getting off of those, because we all know it is just crazy out there. But a way to bring people together and just have these like in-person chats, getting to meet people. But it's also a way of really putting a spotlight on your great friends that are single and have not found love yet, or maybe just getting out of a relationship and want to get back out there, or just meeting new people. So I'm like the host and MC, and I have people submit their presentations, and you just go up there and you present your friend that's single and say, here's what they like, here's what they don't like, this is what they're looking for. And then if anyone's interested, come and chat and get to know them. So it's
And
just
it,
a really cool way of getting off dating apps and meeting people in person again.
and it's all so like. Is any of this being done like live at a bar, or is it all over the app, or like
Oh, it's
how do you?
all in person, no apps at all.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
so my first event coming up, it's on, I believe, October 23rd, is at Uncle
Mhm.
Buck's. And they have had many events there before. Let me just check the date and make sure I'm telling you the right date. Yes. Okay. So Thursday, October 23rd at 7 o'clock. So Uncle Buck's has like a little stage there. So I just get everything all set up. All the screens are tuned in to Pitch a Friend, and I will play people's presentations, and they will come up on a microphone and say, "This is my friend Jim. He's pretty cool. He likes to doing this and that, and here's why you should date him." And then if they're there, we bring them up and they get to say a few words if they want to. And then after about 3 or 4 pitches, we have a little break mingle time where people can walk around, talk to new people, kind of branch out from the groups that they come with, and just naturally meet others in the area. So,
That is
Wow.
super cool.
yeah.
How did you get involved with this? Like, were you looking at this and were chosen? What's the way to how do you do what you're doing?
Well, there's
Yeah.
actually
So,
there's pitch a host where, that's a whole scene where they just brought Julia on stage and they're like, she should be the host of this.
Let her do this.
It's
Let her
very
do this.
meta. It all just works itself out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's pitch
No.
a pitch. And then, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah, of course, on top of that. So,
Yeah, it's
no, you,
crazy.
you can tell
Everything's
us how
in a
you actually
circle.
got involved.
Yeah. So I actually attended the first ever Pitch a Friend in Milwaukee event back in October of last year. And I was like, this is so up my alley. This is so fun. I think they had like an ad maybe on like Facebook or Instagram that like I just popped up for me. And so I attended and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then over the months, my roommate, my friends, and I that were also single were like, let's just keep going and seeing if we find someone or if we know a friend of a friend, or maybe one of us will pitch each other. So it's kind of just like a let's see how this goes type of thing. And then back in June, all of a sudden, the next 7 events for the summer just get canceled. There's nothing on the calendar. The Instagram and Facebook go stale. And I remember my roommate was saying, like, what's going on? We haven't been to a pitch a friend in months. I'm like, yeah, that's weird. So I looked on their Instagram and they had put a post saying, like, pitch a friend is on hold. If you'd like to be the next host, please reach out for more information. So I messaged them and I said, hey, like, just looking for more info, like, time commitment wise, what does this look like? I'm interested. So I had a call, and halfway through the call, she's like, can you just start tomorrow? It wasn't even a question. It wasn't like, are you interested? I was just explaining, things I do in my life. I talked about doing stand-up comedy on the side, and I work weddings sometimes. And, I've been on a stage my whole life. I talked about volunteer work. And she was like, this is your job. You are taking this right now. So I didn't really have a choice, but I'm not complaining. And so the next day did my onboarding and started working on everything and started setting up events. So it was honestly just lucky that I looked on Instagram when I did and got involved. And I've absolutely loved it so far.
That
Very
is really
cool. I
cool.
love that. Um, is this something that's happening? I'm assuming then all around the country that there are other pitch a friend type things. Like this is a national thing.
Yeah, so it started back in Philadelphia. This woman, Melissa, she was going to open mic nights at this bar, and the mic nights were just not good. And she was like, I would probably get more laughs pitching my single friends to this crowd and just saying, like, why you should date this person. And so they were like, okay, do it then. So she took it as a challenge, was like, I'm gonna create something out of this. And they just started doing that at this open mic bar. And then she was like, this could go global. This could be a huge thing, and kind of started the branding for it. And then as time has gone on, it's branched out to Los Angeles, Miami, Chicago, and it's like all over. I know that they are trying to start even like a Madison chapter here too. So Milwaukee is kind of like the only Wisconsin one we have right now, but they are trying to branch out and do something in Madison. But I mean, it's like all over. Like there are other countries that have
Yeah.
Pitch
Mhm.
a Friend now.
And is it staying like respectful? Is Are you finding that people that are doing that, like let's say someone goes up and like the pitch, it like doesn't go well. Like is it still staying like a place that's like fun and like serving that purpose, or has it ever like gone off the rails, perhaps like in an evening and you had to like deal with someone who sucked. You know, like you got to leave, man,
Yeah.
or something like that.
That's a great question. I have not officially hosted like my own first event yet.
Got it.
So
Got it.
every time I've gone, it's been like watching someone else do it. So I kind of just took the reins in very recently. But great like thing to notice is like there are pitches that do not go well, or maybe the
Mhm.
person going up there is a little nervous, or they're not really sure what to say, or maybe the bar or restaurant that we're at is really loud and there's a lot of
Mhm.
people there that aren't there for pitch a friend or who are having side conversations. So something I noticed the last host would do is she'd kind of take the mic back and be like, all right, we're going to pause for a second because I want everyone to hear how amazing your friend is and how cool they are. Like everyone, like listen to me, like we're going to bring it back in. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like being able to be a host who is in tune with what's going on and paying attention, and
Mhm.
that can read the room and know like when to bring the crowd back in. So
Yeah.
that has happened a couple times, or just naturally people are very nervous and they're very
Yeah.
quiet on the mic. So it's like, how do I need to walk around, make sure the mic is turned up so people in the back can hear, make sure people paying attention, and not being rude about it, but just being like, hey, these people are kind of having to push through a lot of maybe anxiety and worry of
Yeah.
talking in front of a large group. Like, let's give them the respect that they deserve because, hey, this could be your future husband. You don't know.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is
So,
it? I'm just curious. Asking for Alan, he told me to ask this. Is it all romantic or is it platonic or how does it? If Alan wants to go meet a friend, is that possible?
yeah, absolutely. And it's kind
Good.
of like marketed for singles, but
Sure.
everyone is welcome. There are people who do pitch who are in a relationship or married that are pitching their single friend, but they also bring a whole group of
Got it.
friends to come. There are people that I have met through Pitch a Friend that have become just friends. Like there was an
That's
event
cool.
at
Yeah.
Pilot Project and all girls were pitched. Like that night, there happened to be just a ton of girls that were being pitched and no
Yeah.
guys. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay. And I ended up making really great friends from that event just naturally. And it's kind of the cool bonding experience of like, hey, we're all here to find love.
Yeah.
Like, let's have this, like, strong group of people where, like, hey, I know someone that, like, you would be really great for. And I pitched someone at an event back in March. And funny enough, he's now dating one of my friends who
Ah,
weren't even connected to Pitch a Friend at all.
that's
So
awesome. Yeah.
crazy how life
That's
works.
great.
Yeah.
I think this is so fun. Like, I think it's a blast and so different than what it's been a while since I've been on a dating app, but they're not fun. And I remember them not being fun.
No.
And this is, I think, a really unique way to set it up. But is this, just in terms of your like entrepreneurial path, Julia, is this have other things stuck out to you like this you've ever wanted to go down, or did this one just feel like the right thing that you were totally just a skill set match for and personality fit for? Have there been others too? Just kind of curious of your own journey too.
I'd say this is kind of the first thing like in Milwaukee wise that I've really gotten into. Obviously with
Mhm.
like working weddings on the side as a day of coordinator, I love the planning and organizing and that kind of thing. Um, and then with my background of stand up and theater and singing and being on a stage, this was kind of like the perfect like all three shoved into one of like I'm planning an event, I get to be on stage, but also I'm bringing people together. So it was like the perfect storm for me. And I don't feel like there are other jobs or opportunities or businesses like this in Milwaukee. Like I know there's
Mhm.
other companies that try to do like speed dating and stuff, but this isn't really speed dating. You're not putting yourself on the line unless you're getting pitched. So for those people who maybe have a hard time going up to someone and talking to them, it's like you're getting
Mhm.
a full glimpse of what this person is looking for without having that rejection of going up there and being like, well, we don't agree on this one major thing. It's not going to work. Like you remove that possibility completely because you know exactly what they're looking for.
Totally, totally. Is
Yeah.
there an art or a science to selecting the location that you are going? I know you said Uncle Buck's. Did that take some work, or was that a place that just said yes and here you go? Or what was that process like? Because I imagine the venue probably matters for this in
Oh,
terms of
yeah.
like getting a spot. So what was that process like?
Yeah, so thankfully there are some places where Pitch a Friend was already kind of established
Mhm.
with like bars and restaurants. There are some like bars that are like, oh, they have like sister companies in other cities, things like that, especially with like Chicago. But Uncle Buck's held the very first Pitch a Friend back in October. And they had like WISN 12 and like other news stations come out and do a story on it.
Oh
They
wow.
had their social media like blow this thing up. So they're kind of like a very prominent location for the company already. So when I'd reached out to reintroduce myself as the new chapter host, he was like, let's get this on the books right now. Let's move forward. He's already booked 4 dates for Pitch a Friend.
Wow.
He's like ready
Wow.
to go. And I
He's ready to
love it
roll.
because they're so excited.
That's
But to
awesome.
go off of like space wise, there's definitely places that are more conducive for an event like this. They have a stage, obviously, but they also have the second floor, if you guys know, that like looks out onto the Deer District.
Mhm.
That's a
Hmm.
really good spot too, because they have that huge wall that we just project onto. So no matter what the size is of the event, like if it is a smaller type thing or if they have a theme night, we can move it up to the second floor. We can have it on the main floor if people want to eat
Mhm.
during it. But there's definitely places that it would be a little bit tougher, or maybe if it is more themed towards like 40 plus and you
Mhm.
need that smaller, more intimate space, we can do
Yeah.
that too. I know another one that we really like is Broken Bat because
Oh
they
yeah.
have a venue space up on the second floor and it's huge and they
Yeah.
have TVs all over. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like depending on like the timing, who's attending, what demographic we are leaning towards. I kind of get to play around with venues of
Yeah. Yeah.
what's
And
going
it's
to work.
the
I say go
34-year-old
big.
married podcast host, maybe,
Go big.
go
I
ahead.
Always go
say no,
big.
no. I say we go big. We take it. Forget Uncle Bucks. Go across the street to Fiserv. Just we're on the
I thought
jumbotron
about
with
it.
it. We're on the
That
I
was on
thought
the
about it.
jumbotron.
list.
Imagine that. 20,000 people. You're pitching your friend to
Let's
20,000.
go.
Everybody leaves probably happy from that. I would assume that somebody finds
Yeah.
one in 20,000. Let's just do it. We could make it happen. We'll
Hey,
get
I
involved. We'll make it happen.
let's talk about this on like the side low key because I have some ideas. So let's, and I don't want anyone to steal them. So let's chat about that because I got connections. You guys have connections. Like we could
Oh
totally
yeah.
make this thing.
Could you imagine the size of just somebody in like the center of an arena and like their like profile posts like up on the
Yeah.
jumbotron and you just
I
hear a crowd
could.
like ooh ah like that would be actually pretty
Yeah.
wild.
That'd be awesome.
Oh my
I
gosh. It would
wanna
be
I
so
do
fun.
wanna ask about the actual like presentation part of it too because you're somebody that's pitched somebody before.
Yeah.
Um like what do they have to prepare? Is it like a slideshow on this person? Because then in my head I think of like that like TikTok trend of like having like PowerPoint night where you're like you have to come up with a presentation on
Mhm.
some topic and your friends kind of like yay or boo to this thing. Do you have to like create a presentation? Like what all goes into it?
Yeah, so normally it's just you create a presentation with photos or bullet points of your friend, and that's kind of what's shown on there. So it is like a full-on like PowerPoint. For me, because I'm just extra in general, I got a ton of photos from him. I tried putting some videos in of things he does, and I mostly focus on what is he like as a person, like what are the qualities that he is, then what are the qualities that he's looking for? And then I did kind of like a likes and dislikes thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um, I'd like to keep it very, I don't want to say basic, but like generally dating wise, what would you like if you had your dating profile put up there, but expanded into more? Because a lot of
Mhm.
times, you have what, two, three prompts and like five pictures, blow it up. Now, if you had 20 prompts, what are the things that you would want to display as like who you are as a person?
Mhm.
What are some pictures that really show like what you're looking for, fun things you like to do, or things you want to do? So I would say it's kind of like a 5 to 7 page slideshow, basically
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
focusing on those things. Yeah.
Do you have to find a balance? Because I would struggle with this if I was doing this, of being funny versus being like, I'm actually trying to find this person their next fit. Like, because you can almost do it in a way where like the whole thing is sort of entertaining, right? In almost like a, not say a joke, but like you're kind of like enjoying it, and here we go. But you also like truly want to find your friend someone to meet. Like, is there a fine line between those two things in terms of like how you present and what your approach is?
Yeah, I'd say there's definitely a fine line or more of like an equilibrium towards
Hmm.
it because yeah, you do want to be fun and entertaining because if I just went up there and was like, this is Jim, he
Yeah,
likes
right.
sports, like no one cares, right?
That he
But
sucks, right? Yeah.
Right.
Well, there goes my whole
No.
presentation. I was gonna just do that,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
Jim.
sorry.
He
He
co-hosts a
sucks.
podcast. He's
Yeah.
looking for
Yeah.
friends.
That's
He
right.
sucks.
Here's his phone number, I guess. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Oh
tough.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Just blow it up. Put his phone
Uh,
number out there. Put his
yeah,
email. Everything. Here's
yeah.
where you can find
Embarrassing
him most nights.
photos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dox
Ooh.
him. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'd say it's tough because like you want to be funny, you want to be entertaining, but like
mhm.
you don't want to roast your friend too much. Like you
Yes.
want to roast them in a way that's like, this man really loves sports. So like you want to hang out with him first date, might be watching a Brewer game, but you know what? You're going to have a blast because he's going to be so into it and you are going to see his fun-loving side. So it's like you got to kind of like
I like that.
twist it a little bit, where
Yeah.
it's like if you're gonna
Hmm.
roast your friend, you better come up with three great things of why you're roasting them and how that's gonna be good for the person that wants to date them.
That's great.
Hmm.
That's great.
Hmm.
And so I want Julia to take a step back a little bit. I know like you have a day job and this is quite
Hmm.
different from your day job. Are you finding any of those two worlds intersecting at all, or is this just a totally different thing that you wanted to get into that's beyond sort of your daily work? Because we get fascinated by that a lot. Folks that maybe on paper like those two things don't match up. And what is that like for you, or have you are there any thoughts of those two that come together, or are they just totally wow, two totally different? Try and say this 6 times. Two totally different things that do not coexist. That's what I want your take on.
That's a really cool way to kind of like describe it because they are very different. Like doing accounting and working in accounting, it's very systematic, numbers,
Mm-hmm.
analytics type thing, right? So I think for me, like growing up, I always loved both sides of things like that. So it's like I was in performing arts, but then I was also really into math. So
Yeah.
going to college, I studied actuarial science and performing arts. Those two things have nothing to do with each other at all. So I feel like I was almost like itching to find a job that I could have that creative side. But I do notice that some of my things from accounting, like spreadsheets, I am so organized when it comes to pitch a friend because all I'm doing is creating spreadsheets and coming up with data and like how are things correlated and what can I do to make this process easier and more efficient. So I'm noticing that I get to have like the fun side of like planning these events, but then everything I've learned from accounting has like kind of slid into us and be like, well, now I get to create a fun spreadsheet to
That's
map
great.
out who's
Yeah.
getting pitched where.
I love it. So, whereas someone may look at this on the surface level and be like, those two things have nothing to do with each other, but they do. Like you're using
Yeah.
skills and you put it into it, and which is what I think is so fascinating about folks that maybe you wouldn't assume that something would work, but it does. You have to be organized and you have to go into this
Hmm.
and be creative, but also like the planning behind it and spreadsheet. We all love a good spreadsheet, and clearly
Oh
you
I was
yeah.
gonna say nobody has
yeah,
said the words
So
fun
good.
spreadsheet, I think, ever, but
yeah, that's a new
those
one.
things, but honestly, as somebody that uses them a lot, I get it.
Uh,
I understand that. Is there a limit to like how many people can be in this? Because I would think like I'm thinking in terms of like a stand-up open mic kind of situation. Like if you go at the beginning of the night, crowd's hot for you, you know what I mean? Or if you go like second or third, like people are warmed up. But then like if it's getting late in the night, like people are like,
Hmm.
all right, we've had it, we've got enough comedy, we're leaving, whatever. Like if you're the friend that's getting pitched and it's like, midnight or 1 a.m. or something like that, which actually may work in your benefit or may not. I don't know.
true.
Yeah.
But like is there a limit that if like we're like, okay, the night's running late here, we gotta run through these?
I'd say that it's normally between like 8 to 12 pitches total.
Mm,
So with it being like 5 minutes long, it typically doesn't go like too late. I have talked to other hosts across the country and gotten some kind of like good tips and tricks for that. And they say like you as a host, like you got to bring the energy back up. That's something like you got to be ready. Like if it dies down, like what are you going to do to get
mhm.
people interested again? What are you going to do if someone has a really bad pitch and they're super nervous or it just doesn't go over well, or maybe the people in the crowd aren't the type that want this person, how can you wrangle everyone back in? What are you going to
Mhm.
say that are going to get people excited for the next person and not correlate them together and do like, well, that pitch sucks, so the next one's going to suck,
Yeah.
You got to be able to like keep it flowing and keep that energy, which I think me doing stand up and being able to be on a stage, I kind of have that natural energy of like, all right, we're moving into the next one. Let's bring it back. That one was a lull, but are we going to get excited for this next person?
Yeah.
So I'd say it
Yeah.
doesn't go like too late in the night where people are kind of like, um, I have noticed there are times when someone is like done being pitched and then they're like, they just leave and their whole group of friends leave too.
Oh,
So yeah. So I've thought about ways of like, what are things that I can do to keep the crowd engaged? What are games that we can play? Or what are things that we can do that are going to keep people there the whole night so that the person at the front end of the pitches and the person at the back end get the same amount of respect and attention and like energy that they deserve?
yeah, because I mean, like, if well, also if somebody leaves right after, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of like, hey, here's my friend, cool, peace, we're out, and then like, no one had a
Yeah.
chance to go talk to that person.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
had no chance to mingle. Like, they just literally pitched their friend, and they were, all right, we're out the door. Just send us a message or something. So,
Yeah, it's like, and I don't want that. And I think a lot of times too, it's if your friend is being pitched and you're not single, but you go to support your friend, like they don't really have a reason to stay if they're already in a relationship and they just go to support their friend and well, their presentation's done. It's like, well, no, it's not just about dating. Like you can meet other people. Like, if you're engaged and you are planning your wedding and someone being pitched at the end is a wedding planner,
Game
like
on.
make
Yeah.
connections, right?
Yeah.
Let's collaborate and do stuff like that. But um it's going to be a fun feat for me to try to figure out how to keep people engaged from that first to the end.
Yeah.
yeah, for
So
sure.
if we're sitting here on October 4th, 2026, what does success look like for you? If you're thinking a year from now, how many have you done? What level of like interaction? Just subjectively, what are you hoping to accomplish with it?
So realistically, I want to have 3 events a month. So in a year
Hmm.
from now, what, like 30, 35 under my belt. And that's including how crazy Wisconsin winters are here, where hopefully I don't have to cancel any events.
Hmm.
Or even just people not wanting to leave their house and their cozy blankets to come out and meet people. But I'd say, yeah, if in a year from now, if I could have 30 events done, maybe some success stories that I can post about. But also, I want to double my followers. I want to
Hmm.
have a rockin' TikTok going on there of doing whatever dancing trend to get people excited. And maybe have a small team. Maybe Pitch a Friend gets so big that I can't do it myself and I need help. And I would love that. That would be just an awesome thing to have. Be like, this is too much work for me because it is so it's going so well in Milwaukee and so many people want
Hmm.
to attend. We got to expand. We got to figure out where we're going from this point on. Like, I want this to be so much that I can't do it alone. And I don't like asking for help, but I will if I need to.
In this case, yes.
Yeah.
That's very ambitious, but that's the kind of thing that we reward here on this show is people
That's
that
right.
think big,
Yeah.
like we said, and go big on stuff. So that's super cool.
Mhm.
This whole thing has sounded awesome as like a married dude that is like, okay, how do I go to like have my friend get pitched? I gotta find a
Yeah.
single friend. All my friends are having kids now.
I want to
All my
pitch
friends and
someone really
co-hosts are
bad.
having kids
Like,
now.
I would love to pitch someone. That's what
You
I'm
guys
looking
would
at.
Yeah,
do
Yeah. Yeah.
incredible pitching someone. So I
That'd
think
be
it'd be
so
so
fun.
fun.
we're gonna
Yeah,
find one, and we're gonna be your first like two-person pitch this person.
do
Absolutely.
it.
We're gonna make it our goal to like
Uh-huh. I
find
love
a. We
it.
gotta find a single friend, Jim. We gotta
Yeah,
figure
I
this
got
out.
a
All our
couple
You
friends are
guys
guys.
getting
could just
married and having
pitch
kids.
me.
Yeah, we
Pitch
can
me at
just
my
Okay.
pitch
own event.
Julia. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
even
There you
better.
go. All right. Lock it in. We'll make it happen. We will do that. This sounds really awesome and wish you nothing but success, especially with this first
Thank
event
you.
coming up. If people want to get involved, they want to get pitched or,
Mhm.
go to this, where's the best place to go find you and pitch a friend?
Yeah, I'd say our Instagram is the best place to go. We have all of our links on there. I'll post about future events, or if you have any questions, you can DM me on there. I'm pulling it up there on my phone right now. I'm so sorry, I should know this. So it's just pitchafriend.milwaukee. So we'll have everything on there, future events, answers to frequently asked questions, and then a link to our website to sign up and pitch on there.
Very cool. All
Awesome.
right. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Thank you,
and doing
Julia.
this. I guess, oh, also,
Thank
where
you
if people
guys.
want to just find you online, where's the best place to go
Oh
find?
yeah. So on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, it's just at Julia Graybill. You can find me at all of those places.
There you go. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Thanks for pitch a friend. Now,
Yeah.
see, it's all meta. It's all
It's
meta.
all
It's all
coming
coming
back.
back around. And thanks for being on the podcast. So, if you are listening
Yeah.
for the first time, welcome. If you're listening for the 100+ time, see, I didn't remember what the episode number was, Jim.
That's okay.
Then you can find us everywhere. We are the Hustling Sideways podcast. We are wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of the places as well. Just look for Hustling Sideways and we'll pop up. If you want to be a friend, if you want to be a guest, you want to be
Also a friend.
pitched, also a
Also a
friend,
friend.
sure. If you want to pitch yourself as a guest, there's a lot of pitching going on today. You can send us an email. It is hustlingsideways@gmail.com. And Jim,
Keep on hustling.
we'll see you next week.
Peace.